All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking something that usually feels totally locked away behind miles of bureaucratic red tape, and we're breaking it wide open. We are going to demystify the local court system, specifically exactly how you can look up court cases right here in Boulder County, Colorado. And we're going to do it using only official, completely public resources, no secret handshakes required.
So picture this for a second. You are about to hand over a massive down payment to a new contractor to finally remodel your kitchen. But who is this person really? Do they have a long history of getting sued for leaving jobs half-finished? Well, finding that out in literally the first 15 seconds of a quick search, that could save you tens of thousands of dollars. And that right there is exactly why knowing how to look up legal records is honestly a bit of a superpower. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, why we search court records. Second, navigating the Boulder court system. Third, our step-by-step access guide. Fourth, decoding all that legal jargon. And finally, number 5, limits and disclaimers. Starting with Section 1, why search court records? Or really, the everyday need for legal research. You know, it is a huge misconception that legal research is just for, fancy lawyers and expensive suits. It's totally not. Everyday citizens actually need these records all the time. Maybe you're running a background check on a new business partner. Or say you're dealing with a nasty property boundary dispute with a neighbor. Maybe you've had a personal injury, or someone totally breached a contract, like our contractor example. Having the skills to dig up these records, that's exactly how you protect your assets and your rights in everyday life. Moving on to Section 2, the Boulder court system and mapping the 20th Judicial District. Okay, so before you can even pull a file, you've got to know which court actually holds the clues. Boulder County basically operates within Colorado's 20th Judicial District. On one side, you've got the county courts. Thanks to a recent statutory change, they handle civil claims up to $25,000, plus your standard misdemeanors and traffic offenses. Now, on the other side, the district court handles the heavy hitters. We're talking civil claims over $25,000, felonies, and really complex civil litigation. So knowing your dollar amounts or the severity of the crime, that tells you exactly where to start looking. Now, here's a really interesting number to keep in mind. $7,500. Why? Because any civil dispute under this specific amount gets funneled right into a special division of the county court called Small Claims Court. And this is fantastic because it's designed to be incredibly accessible. The procedures are super streamlined, way less expensive, and just generally a lot easier for everyday folks to navigate without having to hire a lawyer. So where do all these records physically live? Well, the central hub for all these files is the Boulder County Combined Courts. The actual physical address is 1777 6th Street in Boulder, Colorado. That's where the clerk's office is, and honestly, if you're the kind of person who likes to do things in person, they even have public access terminals set up right there at the courthouse for you to do your research. All right, Section 3, our step-by-step access guide, how to actually pull the files you need. Let's play out a little scenario here. Say you're tracking down a $10,000 breach of contract dispute. Based on what we just covered, you know that falls right into the county court. So step 1, identify that court and gather your basics, the names of the people involved, and ideally, the case number. Step 2 is making the actual request. You can do this using the Colorado Judicial Branch's online records request form, or just via email. And then step 3 is simply paying the required fees for the clerk to go ahead and retrieve and copy those documents for you. And speaking of making that remote request, this email address is absolutely crucial. Make a note of this, 20recordsrequest@judicial.state.co.us. This is basically your golden ticket. It's the most direct way to request court records in the 20th Judicial District without ever having to leave your couch. You literally just submit your details and the clerk's office will get back to you about the payment based on whatever you're asking for. But wait, what if you don't actually have the case number yet? Don't worry, that is exactly where the statewide docket search tool comes in at coloradojudicial.gov/dockets. You can use this online portal to hunt down basic case info and scheduled hearings just by searching a person's name or a filing date. One quick pro tip from the sources though, if you're filtering by date, try to keep your search window to a week or less. That generally gives you the most accurate results. Okay, let's talk budget, because yes, there are hard costs associated with getting public records. There's a highly specific fee schedule set by Chief Justice Directive 06-01, and it breaks down like this. It's a quarter, just 25 cents per page for a standard copy. If you need a certified copy for something official, that's $20 per document. Need the clerk to run a name search? That's a non-refundable $5. And if you have a massive request that needs heavy research or redaction, after the very first hour, they're going to charge you $30 an hour. Knowing this upfront just saves you from any nasty surprise costs later.
Next up, Section 4, decoding legal jargon, or translating court documents into plain English.
All right, so you've made your request and boom, the files are sitting right there in your inbox. But finding the record is really only half the battle, right? The very first thing you're going to want to look at is called the ROA, or the Register of Actions. Think of the ROA as basically the table of contents for the entire lawsuit. It's a chronological timeline that lists every single complaint, motion, court order, and scheduled hearing. You can actually access ROAs online through approved third-party vendors if you just want to peek at the timeline without requesting the massive, heavy case files from the clerk.
Now, as you read through that Register of Actions, you are very likely going to spot a huge gap of time dedicated to something called discovery. Discovery is basically the phase where both sides exchange documents, they take depositions, and they gather up all their evidence. According to our sources at Western Slope Law, this is almost always the longest stretch of a civil lawsuit. I mean, it can literally last a year or more in really complex cases. This is where all the juicy behind-the-scenes details are collected before a trial even gets on the calendar. Another quick thing, you've got to know who is who. It sounds basic, I know, but it is so vital. The plaintiff is the injured party who is bringing the claim. They're the one who filed the lawsuit. The defendant is the person or the company who has to respond to that claim. You really need to have these two foundational terms clearly separated in your head, or else you are going to get completely lost trying to read the arguments in those files. Having a grasp on this standard legal timeline really helps you build a realistic expectation of how a civil lawsuit plays out in Colorado. Step 1, the plaintiff files the complaint. Step 2, once the defendant is officially served, they usually have exactly 21 days to respond, assuming they were served in-state. And then Step 3, from that point, a case that actually goes all the way to trial, that often takes 12 to 18 months, or even longer, to completely resolve. So if you're looking up a case that was just filed 3 months ago, definitely don't expect to see a final verdict yet.
Finally, Section 5, limits and disclaimers. Essentially, what you can't see and how you should actually use this info. So while the Colorado Open Records Act generally assumes government records are public, there are definitely some strict exceptions to protect people's privacy. These are governed by Chief Justice Directive 05-01. Basically, custodians will completely block your access to records involving adoptions, juvenile and truancy proceedings, mental health cases, paternity actions, and protected probate hearings. You just aren't getting into those without a highly specific court order. And honestly, that makes total sense. Now, here is a super surprising but incredibly helpful tip from the source material. If you are using that statewide search form we talked about, and the case number starts with a GV, a GS, or a D, like say 17 GS 1234, that is actually a Denver County Court case. Denver County is administered totally separately from the rest of the state courts. So if you try to request those records through Boulder, you're just going to hit a brick wall. You have to email Denver directly at courteddatarequests@denvercountycourt.org. We also touched on using third-party vendors for online searches earlier, but you really have to keep this official quote in mind. The information provided does not constitute the official record of the court, provided as is with no warranties. Look, these third-party databases are incredibly convenient, but the Colorado Judicial Department does not legally guarantee that they are accurate in real time. If you absolutely need the bulletproof official hold-it-up-in-court record, you have to get it straight from the court clerk. And that smoothly brings us to our own mandatory disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes only. We're just showing you how to access public information based on the state's own documentation. We are absolutely not giving you legal advice. If you are facing a lawsuit yourself or you need to understand how a specific court record impacts your personal rights, always consult a licensed legal professional. Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, right? Everything from the physical address of the Boulder Combined Courts down to the exact email you need to pull a case file. But I want to leave you with one kind of provocative thought. If the courts are this open and pretty much anyone can pull these records for just 25 cents a page, what does your own public footprint say about you? It's something to think about, right? Understanding the system doesn't just give you the power to investigate others, it really helps you understand your own standing in the public eye. Thank you so much for learning with me today. And hey, I highly encourage you to go explore the Colorado Judicial Branch website for yourself.